MaJaMa Jams is brought to you by a Texas Chainsaw Christmas.
Did it work? Did it work? Did the wish work? A soaking wet field of grass. A pile of dog shit. A light? I don't know what that is. Guys! Are the guys here? Guys, I think it worked. I think we're free.
Yeah, bro, we're out. You know what else is out?
Wait a minute. We're outside. I don't have to spell it anymore because I'm not trapped inside that goddamn apartment. I'm free! Merry Christmas, movie house!
Oh, Merry Christmas, Mateo and Jason. We were talking about movie house. Hey, bro, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Yeah. Happy Christmas morning. Me and the Italian, we came up with a great idea. We're going to eat these canned beans, shove all of them down, and we're going to have a Christmas fart contest. Whoever fart smells worst is going to get to pick the movie today. Christmas fart contest. Christmas fart contest. Christmas fart contest. Christmas fart contest.
MaJaMa. MaJaMa.
You do realize that because of you, I'm in Japan, and my 10-year-old son is at home by himself.
Yeah, but first world problems, you know.
Welcome back, everyone, to MaJaMa Jams, a show where we discuss other people's work to avoid doing our own. And guys, Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas. We have come to the end of our December experiment. If you've been sticking with us all month, it's on the t-shirt. You know that we've been going over Home Alone sequels. Not the first one, not Lost in New York, but everyone after that, all the bad ones, 3, 4, 5. And today, we have arrived at the crescendo. And we are bringing to you the main question of this month. Well, which is the shittiest? It may just be today.
That'd be nice.
So full disclosure, because we are freaks, this is not the first time we've watched this. This is the second time we've watched it as a trio.
No, probably third or fourth.
If you're turning to me, the microphone needs to be closer to me.
Stop turning.
So this is actually not the first time we've watched this, but it's the second time we've watched it as a trio. I think Matthew's correct that we're psychopaths, so we've watched it a couple other times.
No, I'm pretty sure the three of us watched it 3 or 4 times.
You saw it before me, and then I saw it the first time, I think, on Thanksgiving with your mom. And then we might have watched it once more time, and then tonight.
It's a Christmas miracle.
I'm not proud of it.
Oof, what is wrong with us? More than once is insane. I mean, I think me and you were kind of originally on this is that sweet spot where you watch it to hate and it actually really works. And I think maybe the first time it did. But let me tell you, when it didn't work for the hate watch is today when it was the real hate watch. Now, right now, as far as I'm concerned, this is a contender with number 4 because both times we have blasphemy. Now, I was telling the guys I don't want to spend too much time on the actual plot, even though this one is kind of a lot different. I more just want to trash it as opposed to going through it.
Let's go with the plot.
So, we have a switch up in that we have Archie, who we really loved in Jojo Rabbit.
You okay? Oh, God.
Thought it was actually going to be a great choice for this when it was first announced. But Archie from Jojo Rabbit is our new Kevin. What's his name?
Maxwell Johann Mercer.
Max?
Max, right. I barely remember the name.
How many times did you watch the movie?
He's in Home Alone 3, Max.
Yes.
Oh my God. Is it a shared universe?
Alex.
So he has to pee.
6 soda refills into one tiny 10-year-old's bladder does not go.
His mom says there's nowhere to pee, so we're going to stop in this open house, which are 2 basically leads. That's the crux of this problem. Rob Delaney and Ellie Kemper. Both very funny and other things. They're trying to sell their house. They're having some dire straits. They haven't told their kids they're moving.
The kids are home.
What's happening? Why are we scared of the kids?
We haven't told them we're selling the house.
They're having a reliable Kenan Thompson come in as their real estate agent to try in secret to sell the house. They're having this open house. Little boy comes in. He exchanges some back and forth with Delaney, in which this time I agreed with Mateo, comes across as incredibly obnoxious.
They're very delicate, so why don't we just leave them right there?
Oh, little boy doesn't want to share his dolly.
Excuse me?
Ah, I get it. You're one of those guys.
What do you mean?
Like I said, usually Mateo's like these obnoxious characters. I'm like, I don't feel it. I'm feeling it lately.
He's a douchebag from the start.
He's a douchebag from the start. In fact, I really genuinely had the Mateo effect during this first interaction. I was like, I don't like this kid. I definitively don't.
Boy, if there's one thing I can't stand, it's kid actors.
Anyway, he notices that Rob Delaney has an old box of dolls. They do a little back and forth. He makes fun of him for being a weak male, for liking dolls.
So much for not spending too much time on the plot.
The fact he's right that we need to at least describe why this is different, because the difference is the reason for the hate.
What are you doing?
So, Rob Delaney's got a weird upside-down face doll. We are made to believe that Max takes it because their interaction is annoying. He won't give Max one of his room temperature orange sodas, because who doesn't love a room temperature soda?
Oh, can I get one of those?
That might be a question for your parents, just because there's a lot of sugar in them, so.
Oh, right.
We think that Max steals the doll. Rob then finds out on eBay that this doll is going to be worth upwards of 200 grand because it's a rare collectible, and says, oh my God, this can save our Christmas. We've never seen that in a movie before. Goes to check for the doll, doesn't find it, goes, oh my God, Max was mad at me. He probably steals it because in a moment of mother-son anger, the mom and son both said their full names.
Maxwell Johann Mercer. What is with you today?
Carol Ellen Mercer. Take a guess.
A detail I don't hate writing-wise. I don't hate it. He has the full name.
Maxwell Johann Mercer.
Carol Ellen Mercer.
Bingo.
He looks up the address. He goes there. The family's going on vacation. Oh my God, I need to get my doll, but the family's gone. And from that point, we basically have the old Home Alone.
Because the kid falls asleep in a car.
The kid falls asleep in the
doesn't
car.
realize. And since they're going into groups, one group thinks that he is in the other group and vice versa.
So basically all that gets us to the traditional plot, except this time, instead of having two robbers that are actually menacing.
Hiya, pal. We outsmarted you this time. Get over here.
And that we can, like seeing them, but can root against. We have a sweet mom and dad who are just put upon around Christmas, desperately want to save themselves, them home, or the family, trying to get in and getting lots of abuse because we have a misstep where they say,
All we have to do is find that ugly little boy.
conveniently never calling the doll, a boy, so then Max thinks they want to kidnap and sell him. You guys can see where this goes from here. So I wanted to talk you through that just because the biggest switch is that we are supposed to sympathize with our robbers. Not only that, the movie is damn near about the robbers. In fact, I think objectively, if you did a pie graph of screen time, Delaney and Ellie get
much
more screen time, and Max is almost flip-flopped to the amount of time like Pesci and Stern would have.
Great idea.
So again, I just want to go and tell everything we hate about, but that's the main shift of it. Matthew said that this is, like I said, a contender with 4 because both of them have blasphemy. Oh, forgive me. One other thing that stands out, which is going to be the crux of my hate, is they gave us fans, the people who would wear a Home Alone shirt, a nugget of genuine gold. Matthew, I'm blah, blah, blahing. What is this nugget of genuine gold they gave us fans?
You brought it up.
Come on.
They have a McAllister brand home security system, which is a genius idea. After all this time, after everything Kevin went through, he grew up to create this whatever system it is to kind of guard people's homes. And his older brother Buzz now is a policeman, which is great. Buzz will grow up to be a dickish policeman. And we thought this would be great fodder for an actual Home Alone Legacy series. We can bring actually Macaulay Culkin back as well as Buzz and as well as the robbers who have gotten out of jail after so many years.
But tell him the actual genius thing to do with the prank.
What?
The prank that he says.
What?
The prank that he says.
What?
The prank that he says.
What?
The prank that he says. The one genius thing that they just do and don't milk. The reason Buzz dismisses when they call in, could you go check on Max?
Oh, that Kevin plays a prank on him every year.
You can ignore that. That is a prank call. Over.
Prank call?
Yep.
Saying that he's been left home alone because he was left home alone as a kid.
When I was a kid, my family went on vacation We forgot my little brother Kevin. Twice.
So, as a fan, I can tell you, we're all happy to see Buzz back. Matthew pointed out, it's not like some kid actor that hasn't acted since. Buzz does a good job.
Yeah.
Buzz is playing it as Buzz. It makes 100% sense that Buzz would end up a cop. The Kevin as a security thing is brilliant. And the fact that every year he says Kevin prank calls him and says the kids have been left home alone.
He called in the 289 to mess with me. The idiot does it every year.
As a fan, I love all of it. It's relegated to 2 scenes. And may I point out one scene with Buzz going back and forth with Ellie. Probably the only scene that actually got a little bit of an actual laugh out of me. Nice comedic back and forth.
Is there anything else I can help you with tonight?
Nah, don't worry about it, no. Unless you want me to arrest your husband for missing your anniversary.
He plays it well. He's Buzz. It's beautiful. 1, 2, nothing. You really screwed up.
Hashtag ill-judged.
In place of that...
It almost seems like it's wasted. Like, no, take it out, take it out.
Yeah,
If you,
it's a tease. It's like Mateo says, when you use the iconic soundtrack in these movies, all it's doing is reminding you
of a better movie.
Remember that better movie? All that's doing is being like, we could have knocked, and I believe they could have knocked a legacy sequel out of the park. Like he said, you get Kevin and Buzz still having sibling rivalry, but all of a sudden they realize Harry and Marv are out. We spent years in jail. We're going to murder you.
And for the first time, Buzz is like, wait, what happened to you as a kid? Oh, what? You were actually home alone? The people tried to break into the house. You had to set up all these traps.
It gets better.
Let's do it again. We're going to do it together this time.
Kevin
the brothers
and Buzz
working
together. The brothers?
If you're going to do a Home Alone 7, whatever it would be, that's how, and you're going to bring back the original cast, that's how you should do it.
It's so good. I love it the more we talk about it. As a fan, I love it. The Buzz casting was right. So a lot of sin going on here between the flip-flop and the Buzz Gold just dismissed.
There is no going back.
We now return to
MaJaMa.
What if I dress as Santa?
He'll think I'm just Saint Nick. But this Santa's gonna be leaving with that $200,000 ugly little boy in his sack.
Now let's just have a fun time talking about all the things we hated. I'm going to start because I was shocked, Mateo, by this time how much I agree with you. That opening interaction with him and Delaney, I hate this kid. Yeah. And he doesn't play, again, more and more and more respect for Macaulay, who straight up tells his mom, I
hope I never see any jerks again.
You stay with him. Macaulay has a power. It's an amazing performance. This kid, he starts mouthing off. And
Plus you see Kevin getting shit on by his family members too.
Yeah.
So there's at least some justification. Not that this kid doesn't, but it's not the same.
Mom! Max, please! You are not the only person in this house, darling!
I wish I was.
Don't make me run! I have tendinitis! Move, Max!
That's what I was saying, is that every movie has scrambled desperately. The first 2 feel organic. The first Home Alone, you get this great sense Uncle Frank shits on him, he's a jerk. You get a sense Kevin is
like, this
put
feels
upon.
like they ran into the houses and, okay, all the actors run around, seem like really crazy, the house is really packed, as opposed to the Kevin's household where it's just like, oh, this is just a cramped family household, everyone is everywhere, and it just seems very natural and organic.
Well, it feels,
this just feels put upon.
It feels forced that you're supposed to not like your family for this effect. And in 3, 4, 5, and today, it always feels very forced that you have to not like your family. We have to have that angle.
And the third one, no. The third one is, as I told you, I think that is a Home Alone only name and the circumstances, because he is not Home Alone.
They still play a little bit of the brother and sister being like, you've brought shame to the family name, which
still,
I think is because they have
there
to.
is no particular, I mean, the parents love him. They don't mistreat him or tell him to go sleep by himself.
You just have to go in and pick up some stuff and sign some papers and show my face. I'll be gone an hour at the very most.
It's a little more soft.
We are confirming, as we said at the beginning, 3 is undoubtedly miles above these. It's mediocre, but it's miles above these. And also, we should point out, small crumbs of credit, this is the first one since Lost in New York where he's actually definitively home alone with the family separated somewhere else. 3, intermittently home alone. 4, he's not ever home alone. He's literally setting up the traps in the middle of it. 5, he's not intermittently home alone. So at the very least, they brought back the parents. Forgive me, I forgot to mention this. The parents go to Tokyo. At least they got them away.
How's about we just spend Christmas in Tokyo without you?
Great idea.
So right off the bat, he comes across as a douche, and it's interesting. They're trying to, again, give credit to the other Max in 3. He apes Macaulay pretty decently.
What about dragons, giant spiders, mummies, the living dead, and other figments of my imagination?
Even this kid actor hater over here said he's got doing a pretty good job. This one, Max comes across as a bully.
What do you mean?
I don't know. You tell me.
He's making fun of Rob Delaney. I'm like, you're a douche. And then even one of my jokes that I think is decent is that he doesn't look like Frankenstein, he looks like Frankenstein's monster. But when the mom comes up and does that joke, it's like, why are you being rude to the dad?
Doesn't he look like Frankenstein to you?
Max, I am so sorry. No, he doesn't look like Frankenstein. He looks like Frankenstein's monster.
It's incongruous with every other nature of your mom character.
Yeah.
Not to mention, we once again, one of these episodes, I think we highlighted, Mateo made an example of the Dumb and Dumber point, the aping of the motions, her belabored speech at the Japan Air thing is like, can you ape Catherine O'Hara, just the way she approaches that?
There's like nothing behind it too. There's no motion, there's no resonance, you don't really care.
Yeah.
It's over quick.
Standby seat assignments will be announced after the check-in window closes, approximately 1 hour before departure.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
You're checking with her for like, we'll cut to her on the plane with the dude who's staring at her screen for like 5 seconds and cut back.
That's a good encapsulation of this movie because we give, not so much, but a decent amount of time to you're looking at my screen.
Sorry, am I looking at your screen? Yes. Oh, okay. So I didn't even realize I'm doing it.
Classic.
Yeah.
There's no laughs. Something this guy discovered, guys. We got some comedy pedigree here. The director, Dan Mazer.
Yes.
I knew I recognized the name. Friggin' Borat, Bruno, Who is America?
It's nice.
Look, you can love or hate Sasha, but that is undeniably balls to the wall friggin' comedy. And Mikey Day, again, you can love or hate Wild 'N Out or an SNL, but he's bred in the world of comedy. You mean to tell me this team cannot make a movie that maybe we say is mediocre, but we laugh, we get some good jokes?
I don't think so.
How come we haven't laughed at any of these?
Well, thank God we had Chris Parnell.
Thank you.
Dude, one of his lines is behind a bathroom door.
Yes.
He gets one line at the front of the
You
house,
see him
and
at
the
the
second
beginning?
line he's in.
Listen. Hey, buddy, I'm going to give that to you and ask you to take real good care of it. It's got my sleep apnea machine in
Louise,
there.
can you send an officer right away?
Did somebody call the house?
No, because we don't have a landlines too.
Chris Parnell, Pete Holmes, and Andrew Daly, most of all. 3 men, again, comedy and who's funny is all subjective, but 3 men from the comedy trenches, and I think Andrew Daly is one of the funniest, like Tim Meadows, just a very reliable, incredibly underrated comedic performer. I've seen Andrew Daly make me laugh to tears.
Just amuse myself on the subway, riding in from Brooklyn to Manhattan with a friend, and I would just kind of try to go as long as I could talking without saying anything. And so I would just go, well, you know, it's interesting. I mean, here we are, and we're sitting here, and I don't know. I mean, for one thing, I mean, you got to consider it from all angles. I mean, I don't know. And after all, I mean, you know what? I don't care for that. But from another perspective, you could see the other way and just kind of, how long could I go?
You say there's no content whatsoever,
There's no
but it
content.
all sounds kind of all right.
It all sounds like words, and somebody overhearing it for a while wouldn't realize I haven't said anything.
Right, right.
So, just see how long I could do it.
Pete Holmes gets a little time to shine.
A little more.
It doesn't make me laugh necessarily, but I
No.
like the energy of it. The belabored dad works for him with his kind of G-rated look.
Nobody has a landline anymore.
Yes, Stu, nobody has a landline anymore because it's not 1993. What's your next idea? Should I beep him after I listen to the new MC Hammer joint?
Andrew Daly and Chris Parnell, comedy vets, comedy director, comedy writer, and you relegate them to literally 1 or 2 lines that aren't even funny. What is happening here? Mateo, you said you had a theory about all this.
Yes.
What is it? Because this is terrible.
Yes! Yes. 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 Yes.
I think that they wanted to have it both ways, meaning they tried to pull a Terminator 2. The Terminator, Schwarzenegger, is evil robot, kill, 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 kill.
I'll be back.
The second Terminator, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, he arrives, he's not the killer, he's a good guy this time.
Come with me if you want to live.
So here they wanted to do kind of like Maleficent or something, show the other side. But, and I'm fine with that. If you say, okay, let's instead...
Could be an interesting flip.
Could be an interesting thing. But you cannot then have a happy ending. If the kid is a bastard from the beginning, from when he's talking to his mom in the car, even before he starts to make fun in the house of the owner of the house. But if he is a bastard, he has to pay, and his parents should have come home and either just like send him to summer school or winter school or something like that.
Also,
instead the whole happy ending, that he saves the doll and everything, too little, too late.
Well,
yeah.
Here's the good thing: some careful, good-natured, functional masking. Yes, in every Home Alone, granted in 2 it's a renovated house, a little more, doesn't matter as much, but in every Home Alone, especially the first one, we don't show the cleanup, and there's stuff that it's at least like, okay, there's Legos on the floor, there's some broken ornaments. Here, the last scene in the house, no joke, looks like the end of a Michael Bay movie. And what is happening? Am I just getting older that I'm used to being like, Mateo, it's not that offensive. Is my suspension of disbelief just lessening? Like, you look like the end of a friggin' dinosaur Michael Bay adventure. The house might as well be on flames. And the mom's just going to be like, well,
it's the weird thing. Like, they once they realize that he's home alone, they take him to his house, take the little boy to his house.
Let's call your parents and let them know that you're okay. You can stay with us till they get back.
I'm gonna be in so much trouble.
The mom picks him up from their house. They don't tell her that they were involved in the destruction of the house and what happened, but they allow her to go home, be surprised by it. Archie tells her, and then a year later, we find out that they apparently
paid for the chandelier.
Paid for the chandelier, so they did know they were responsible for the damage and do know what actually happened because once they got their money for the doll, they helped pay for the repairs on the house.
Which, by the way, they're very good with money.
Think that creepy doll. Selling that paid for everything. Our mortgage, our trip to Europe, and your new chandelier.
Oh, and don't forget the drywall.
I was going to
200
say,
G's.
you're more of Mateo's not a complete idiot like me and Matthew are financially. Correct me if we're wrong, but paying for your entire mortgage, taking the family to Europe, paying for an expensive chandelier, and they're like, 200 grand easily.
Yes.
They even say it covered all of it.
Yes.
Am I wrong that that seems insane?
Yeah, it seems a little...
insane. And I mean, dude, you have creative liberties. Maybe it's the doll they wanted to make believable, but that doesn't, even an idiot kind of was like, doesn't that seem like it's not enough?
Why the doll? Why the roundabout?
Why any choice
because
they made?
They needed to have, let's get the ugly little kid.
All we have to do is find that ugly little boy.
So that he would...
That may literally be the only reason.
That
may literally be the only reason. You
But
realize that?
But
it may hinge on the...
You're trying so hard to...
So the movie can happen.
Make it work with the characters who aren't just... make it just burglars. Just make it burglars and make it... I mean, you're practically doing a remake at this point. It just seems like such an overly exacerbated roundabout way to get these sympathetic characters as the ones who are breaking into the house. But I'm like, there's not even a payoff because you don't enjoy seeing these people get hurt because you're like, I want to see a bastard get hurt.
And yes, exactly. I mean, you want to see somebody who deserves it.
Yeah.
And not... And also, when they put them in a situation where he and them can talk.
I guess my mom was right. Soda is bad for you.
Wait, we just want to... Stop! We can talk!
And yet he keeps on sending them traps and...
The Roger Ebert, this movie could not exist with a phone call.
Yes, this is the idiot plot. And also the fact that... which I found it irritating. I mean, I understand that probably for kid, probably was working in the Laurel and Hardy comedies, but if you are in the line of a spray of water, move. Just there are a lot of scenes in this movie where there's spray and there's just like take one step on the side and it's fine.
We now return to
MaJaMa.
We're not giving up. We need a W, Pam. A win?
Yeah. We do deserve a W.
And I would like to say, again, Ellie Kemper has made me cackle on The Office. Rob Delaney is amazing as Peter in our Deadpool movies. They're both great comedians that made me laugh. They don't do terrible at the slapstick, it's fair to say.
This is not going well.
But, like he said, the main crux here is they are consistently played as a sympathetic, sweet parent couple who are in dire straits.
They even have that whole conversation in the house, like, "Oh my God, he's hurting me. I know it's okay. We're gonna get this done." Like,
he's hurting me, Pam.
Me too, baby.
Why is he doing this to us, Pam?
He just told me our 200 grand is getting away. He has our doll and he knows what it's worth.
dude, why are you playing it up like you're so sad and being hurt as opposed to
like you
want to root for the kid messing with two people like you said that obviously deserve it for trying to break into this kid's house or steal whatever.
And then
it just doesn't make any sense to do that flip unless you got like a really genius idea.
Yeah.
Homebot, what year is it in Japan? Guys, seriously, who keeps swapping the Homebot to German? Homebot, 9!
And then there are very convoluted things like that there is the equivalent of Alexa in the apartment.
Is it German?
Who speaks German, so they think.
For the grandmother joke.
That there
is this the ultimate so the movie can happen in writing?
It is possible for multiple residents to speak German, as German is the native language of many Germans. However...
Oh, is German the native language of many Germans? Wow, the wisdom that Alexa, stop! We're filming a show, you stupid...
Don't keep talking, so otherwise we're...
Didn't quite get that. Tell me again.
Stop, please.
But what does it matter if the grandmother's... Oh, they want to wait for her to go to sleep or who gives
a... It's just every...
Homebot, call the police.
Montag ist es 13 Grad mit klarem Himmel. Dienstag ist es 20 Grad mit starken Schneefällen. Ein Reisehinweis.
But once again, with a piece of technology, it says something like, oh, this whatever device doesn't have the feature to call out. I'm like, dude, the money this family has, they don't have the upgraded feature. That's standard on any Alexa or any Dot. Plus, at this day and age in 2021...
You can't do Home Alone in 2020.
You can FaceTime, you can call a laptop, you can call a computer. You can FaceTime, you can call a laptop, you can call a computer.
Yeah.
The kid's 10 years old.
Yeah.
The kid's 10 years old. The kid's 10 years old. That tape wasn't gonna hold.
Oh, man. Oh, it held for the first half.
His belief in certain things kind of seems like, all right, as a 10-year-old in 2021, you would just have him access to the internet, you just know a lot more. You're just more aware of the world around you, and you have less.
He didn't even do the scene where he gets porn and just starts whacking it viciously.
Well, they do they easily at the very beginning cut it off, saying, hey, your parental controls have locked all the access to your computers.
Breadcrumbs. I didn't laugh, but hey, Alexa.
Never mind.
Hey, Homebot thing in the movie.
Homebot, such good booby traps.
I'm sorry. The parental controls of this system restrict the term booby.
Never mind.
I didn't laugh, but it's not a bad joke.
Yeah.
It's not a bad joke.
Yeah.
You got to give small breadcrumbs.
This is
stop, Alexa, stop, thank you. Matthew, would you care to tell us about what is possibly the worst trap in the history of the Home Alone franchise?
Like I said, coming around, the VR is inexcusably stupid.
Yes.
To be like, you have a device strapped to your head. Rob Delaney gets a... That's it. Rob Delaney gets a VR system strapped to his head.
He gets knocked out.
And he
gets knocked in fair... Like you.
That's what I'm saying. He gets hit in the forehead with a cue ball.
Breadcrumbs
and obviously
which could have killed him.
Yeah, that would probably crack your skull. Once again, these are Home Alone logic, so we're not going to at least dig into that.
We're not going to be mom.
But the only reason that could help him be like, oh my God, where am I? What's going on? Is because he's concussed. And he doesn't realize he has a VR system on his head, even though he can feel the strap tightly bound to the back of his head.
Dude, anyone who's had even a cheap like Walmart VR system, like the strap is tight, there's a big blockish thing. Like I don't believe that you would never be like, wait, there's something on my
and
face.
Plus, he sees himself dressed as Santa, which is absurd because it sees only himself in the reality in a fake environment, which doesn't make any sense, even less at least than what it was. So he goes into the house and he jumps. He says at some point, am I dead? Or something like that. So just like, so he jumps.
You can do this, Mackenzie. Okay, you just gotta make it across. Just one small jump.
And he hits a bookshelf and hilarity ensues.
1, 2, 3.
How about the bad CGI sodas?
Yeah, like all the items, all the sodas and all the bags of flowers and sugar and everything else like that is all just CGI. And like, just don't do it. Like. Or how can you not make a bag of flour look realistic?
Yeah.
And you see it for like 1 second probably before it actually explodes, and how does it still look that bad? And it's still that apparent that it's that fake.
Yeah, it's or like the mysterious blue screen or green screen, whatever, during the final dinner.
Yeah,
why? I don't know.
Just a set, and they had to make it look.
Why?
Like the
Probably they
house.
realized that they have a smaller set, and they just.
And what's the point of the ending scene anyway? Like, who gives a shit?
The ending scene, and we've touched on this, but the ending scene.
Close up the beard.
We've touched on this, but the ending scene is insane. The ending scene is like, what are we watching? It's like it's like if Harry and Marv are like, hey guys, we're over for the McAllister family Christmas. Remember that? I understand it's not that exactly.
For this one, you can do that, but
No, it should have been funnier had they finished reconciling with the mom who came back from Tokyo. She opens the door, she sees the house destroyed. She yells Kevin, or Max in this case.
We don't even know.
And cut to black.
Yeah.
So at least you say, oh, probably he's going to get his due.
Yeah.
As
he
he
was viciously
deserves,
beaten off
because-
camera.
Yes.
He was beaten off?
Yes.
I would like to reiterate that in all fairness, when I heard we all love Jojo Rabbit, this man loves comedy but does not often laugh out loud. He was cackling next to me in the theater in Jojo Rabbit, one of my favorite memories of our friendship. I adored that memory. We all loved Archie. I'm sorry, his character's name is his real name Archie? His real name's Archie.
Yes.
Either way, the kid, who the hell knows, he was amazing in Jojo Rabbit, sweet, funny, and when I heard that he was going to be the new Kevin, I actually was like, oh, slam dunk.
Tell me about it.
Lo and behold,
completely misuse of the sweetness
Yes.
of the kid, what he could do.
Because he's a good actor. And here he has... And then there are references to Scarface, 1983, and Beverly Hills Cop, 1984.
Okay, Axel Foley.
Which kids who are watching this.
I'll at least
love.
excuse that because a pile of M&Ms is, if I was a kid, I think that was an objectively fun scene. I'll at least...
How do you get that many M&Ms, though?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like the tubs of glue.
But the way that it's shot is exactly the scene from Scarface.
I know, I'm just saying, I at least understand that that would be a fun scene if I was a kid, but this movie basically wastes everything. There's a scene with, I think his name is Jim Rash. He's our guy that lets him into Jane Lynch's office in Smiley Face, the receptionist. Again, comedy pedigree. We have a discussing during a Christmas Bell scene, which I think should be hilarious.
Yes.
There's a way to play. Again, this whole movie is you see what they're doing, you're like, oh, and you just don't laugh. But there's a scene where they're discussing in between some Christmas bells. It just falls flat. We get one little laugh at the end when Jim Rash is like,
shame on you. This is my life choice.
Again, these...
Is that the setup when she says...
There is no going back. This is who we are now. This is the life we've chosen.
No, that's just a joke.
No, but she says the same line at the very end.
Listen, how do you have a guy that worked on Borat, Ali G, Who is America, a regular vet of SNL, of Wild 'N Out, and a cast of characters who sometimes have done nothing but comedy?
Oh, this is nice.
Is something Disneyfied? Was a massive roof capped on them? Was the mouse being like, don't you dare step outside, even though the old Home Alone by modern pussy standards is very edgy comparatively? But what happened that all these comedy pros did not make us laugh? We should be saying, you know what? The movie's crap, it's a retread, but we actually laughed. There's funny jokes. Again, Sonic. Ron told us that the people that wrote Hey Stop Stabbing Me wrote it, and the first Sonic has some jokes that actually seem to have personality, flavor, and character. What happened?
What happened? Because the thing of this one is you think, oh, maybe we are too adult for this movie, but I think that a kid would get bored.
Yeah, I don't think this is kid-friendly.
Because it is following the parent storyline.
Yes, exactly. And it happens so, the traps, which are not particularly funny,
Not a chance.
happen so late in the movie.
Every kid can relate to mortgage problems.
Yes, exactly. It's kind of like when you go to see episode 1 that you cannot wait to hear aliens talking about trade.
Yeah.
Your trade boycott of our planet has ended.
I was not aware of such failure.
Because that's usually what you clamor for.
And I didn't like it.
You think I do?
We now return to
MaJaMa. Why don't you take the holiday, think it over, and get back to me, all right? No pressure. Well, maybe a little pressure. You know, it's a lot of pressure, actually.
And Keenan, the ever-reliable Keenan Thompson, again, he's clearly trying.
Yes.
I would never say he isn't, and he's always likable.
We don't even get a third appearance from him, right?
He just...
He doesn't appear at the end.
You can see the gears working. It's like the difference between a slick guy and a nerd. The slick guy puts his arm around you, you're like, oh my God. And then the nerd just does it awkwardly, like, what are you doing, nerd? This whole movie is what are you doing, nerd? Because they're not effectively doing this. You can forgive anything in Home Alone. The only good thing about this month is that all these movies have made me appreciate definitively how much I love Home Alone as a machine that works. There's a reason it became what it was. It is magic in a bottle.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Critique it all you want. It is magic. These movies are awful.
Also, I'm pretty sure the first time we watched it, we were like, wait, who is the dad? Who is the family members? Who is that? Wait, is Pete Holmes the dad?
Right, we didn't know who the hell was
Andrew
who.
Daly the
Wait,
dad?
who is Archie's dad? It's Andrew Daly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you
We see him at
give
the
him
end.
one line? He doesn't even say anything at the Christmas table. He's just staring there like an idiot
Yeah.
with no lines.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew, can you come back on set to be silent? You amazingly gifted comedian.
We'll
like,
green screen you.
On Christmas Day?
As much as Catherine O'Hara gets a spotlight in Home Alone, as it highlights the mother-son relationship of her and Kevin, John Hurt.
John Hurt.
It's
amazing.
Definitely has his own place in Kevin's life, and definitely cements himself as
Even Uncle Frank. That's what I was saying is that...
But think about Uncle Frank as Boba Fett. It's like, wow, he was there for like 15 seconds, but
And
oh
you
my God.
remember him
I quote so
endlessly.
many of his lines. He's just so funny. He jumps off the screen.
There's no way on earth we're going to make this plane. It leaves in 45 minutes.
Think positive, Frank.
You be positive. I'll be realistic.
And they've tried to replicate the Uncle Frank jerks to insanely terrible effect throughout the three of these.
Oh, not to mention that guy says,
Oh, this is garbage. I don't know why they're always trying to remake the classics. Never as good as the originals.
Thank you.
That is...
You want to talk about him saying that using the iconic soundtrack reminds you there's a better movie in the least clever way possible. Look, I'm sure in Jurassic World, tons of people cringed at Jake Johnson?
Gyllenhaal.
Jake Johnson, I think. Doing the whole meta thing. If he's wearing the shirt of the old park was legit. I'm sure a lot of people cringed. I thought that was pretty funny and clever. Here, they literally are watching some weird knockoff Star Wars shot for the movie, and the dad just blatantly goes,
Well, no, it's a remake of Angels with Filthy Souls.
Thank you. Even worse.
I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property.
I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister.
This is garbage.
There's using the Angels with Filthy Souls dialogue from the first movie, and then the dad just says, why did they remake the classics? They're never as good as the original. I suppose you might say it's clever because, it's the same dialogue from Angels with Filthy Souls in the Star Wars one, but all it made me do was be like, hey, you dumbass, do you realize what you're watching is Disney Plus crap and you could be watching the OG? What is going on? Comedy veterans made this.
As I told you.
We know it's okay. We know we're making it's okay.
Yes, it's the same thing in Vacation, the remake.
My trip to Wally World when I was a kid was the best time I ever had.
So you just want to redo your vacation from 30 years ago? Don't you think that's going to be kind of a letdown?
No. We're not redoing anything. This will be completely different.
They're virtually the same exchange.
If you're going to remake it, just remake it.
I've never even heard of the original Vacation.
Doesn't matter. The new Vacation will stand on its own. Okay?
Yeah,
At this
exactly.
point, just remake it.
Don't do that.
Legacy sequel. Legacy sequel. I mean, one that we want.
I don't think so.
It's. So right now what we're doing is between 4 and 6. I think the reason being that the blasphemy involved makes it that much harder. So when we express our feelings by throwing pieces of paper to Crescendo this month, we are all going to give our vote for the worst of these 4, which is very hard right now. Does someone else like to take it away from me and start because I'm afraid of how to vote? Remember, you have to give your answer for one.
For this one, I can go full 5.
I'll go with. I went 6 for 4 because it was. This one deserves 7.
Yeah, easily full full 5.
Because
what is the worst then? And I'm agreeing with you guys. I can't even find a reason to detract half a star. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I cannot think of a single reason to even knock it down to 4.5. 5 for Jason. It's unanimous. But fellas, the votes. The votes for the worst of the lot. Well, you got to do one. You can't say tie. You can't say no answer. I think I'm going to lean 4 only because I remember, and the tape shall show, I was genuinely angry. Actually, nerdily, fanboyily angry, like some Lucas mouth breather pissed over episode 1. And they had the blasphemy to actually recast Kevin McAllister.
Who are you?
What? With a no name? Recast Buzz, recast Marv. So it's difficult to pick between 4 and 6, and I really hated today, but I remember being physically angry after 4.
I know, I had to edit you.
But Matthew's right that 6 having money does almost make him offensive. You guys
6
pick
in
for
2021 with the amount of money.
You pick
Well,
6?
actually, then I don't know how much money he had.
I'm more than the money. I said the talent.
That too.
Because
yes,
4
yes.
has
no one.
The incomparable French Stewart and Eric Avari, who is the
I did
butler.
like it. Eric Avari might be the high point of this whole month.
I like him. I like him.
Is that a pick for 6?
Yes. I go
Oh,
with
we got
6.
a first pick. Mateo 6. Matthew, I'm going to be a bitch and push it to you so I can go last.
Oh,
it's tough. It's tough.
I mean,
it's definitely not 3.
I mean, this is
It's
straight to
definitely
streaming.
not
With this straight to streaming, which is definitely, even if it's not theatrical, it's different than a made-for-TV movie back in the day. There is a distinction, even though they could fall into the same category. Oh, this one's so fresh, so it's hitting harder right now. But 4 is just, I just think about the bare sets, the huge spaces not used. It looks like a cartoon where they don't want to draw the background, so it's just a bare wall, and it's just so bad and painful to watch.
They took at least they gave us Buzz back. They switched them for 4. You know what?
I gotta go 4.
I gotta go 4 because I live and die by this movie.
I get it, Mateo.
I actually want to vote 6. I feel bad voting 4. I almost want to vote 6 because F this thing.
Because they should know better by now. They should know better by now.
And the fact that they say they did try to get Macaulay Culkin back for this one, who say no.
I told you didn't want to do it.
So if you go,
what? You said he did the commercial. You probably would have done this one. Or
No.
Hey, Google, what's on my calendar today?
You have one event called House to Yourself.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Google, add aftershave to my shopping list. Hey, Google, remind me to clean these sheets later.
Okay, I'll remind you.
He did not do it.
What script did they pitch him, you know?
Yeah. And if they went the
This just
length
says money written in crayon.
to drag Buzz, the original Buzz here, and you put people with, as you say, comedic pedigree behind the scene. You take a kid who everybody loves, and you make him hateful. They say, okay, you really don't understand it, and I get exactly why for 4. It's just like it's a sliver more, but this one is.
So, definitively, gentlemen and ladies at home, 4, 4, 6, and I'm doing it because you do not recast Kevin McAllister. What are we doing? Hey, let's recast John McClane with French Stewart. What are we doing?
MaJaMa.
Guys, 4, 4, 6 as the worst, and a full-on 5 for everybody for Home Sweet Home Alone. Disney Plus, you should be ashamed. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this month.
Still paying for it, though.
Still paying for it. Thank you, guys. If any of you have been there with us through the entire month, this has been my favorite gimmick on Jam so far. As much as I hated these movies, I love doing this. I love discussing them. And I feel like I said, I have more an appreciation for One and Lost in New York than ever before. So from our little family here on the couch to you guys out there, an absolutely Merry Christmas or whatever else you celebrate. And come back next week, as always, for more jams. We are home alone, locked in here forever. And this is a...
Hey, this is the last jam of 2024.
Jam, the last of 2024. Everybody do the face.
Oh, like the kid at the end of the movie?
Good job, buddy.
Good job, my love.
Everybody do the face.
Like the kid from Home Alone
4?
No, like the kid at the end. The kid at the end. Ooh.
What are we doing? Voguing?
There is Alexa, stop.
That's the perfect ending for this month, actually. That's beautiful.
MaJaMa.
This Christmas, deck the halls, make your list, check it twice, and have a blast. Archie Yates,
Bombed away!
Christian Martin, Mike Weinberg, Alex D. Linz, and Macaulay Culkin. All right, they're all dead. Michael Bay's Home Alone. The alonest of the homes.